as a flag if you want to, and then they gonna do that to that girl.
You
That's
identify as a
wild.
flag.
I mean, I'm just saying you can, right? You can identify as whatever the fuck you want to right now. So that's crazy. Like I don't know why they would do that to her. And these people that fought and died for this supposedly this liberty, and then they gonna do her like that. That's crazy.
I'm trying to tell you that you gotta have a country. Listen, you can practice any religion you want as long as it's Christian.
Yeah.
You can
Huh?
make any right you want.
No, the cops haven't showed up yet. I bet you they're just like, there's nothing we can do about it. You know. Thank you for your call.
Are you scared?
Am I scared? No, I'm a public person. You know, like I've got like an online public persona. So if they check me, they can say, "Oh, this guy's legitimately running for Congress and he's recording political content." You know, I don't think we're gonna kick his door in because he's running as a Republican congressman. I mean,
No, I'm talking about these crazies out there.
oh, there's crazies on the internet, but I mean, what can I say? You know, somebody says in the YouTube chat, "You're scared." I know. There's 18 people watching the live stream right now. But yeah, this guy who goes in, he said he called the police twice to report me.
Hello, this is the Chicago Police Department. How can we help you?
Yes, there's this crazy white man on YouTube, and he's recording all of these online political rooms.
Well, what are the political rooms talking about, sir?
Well, they're mostly communist, Democrat, Marxist, fascist, terrorist, subversive rooms.
Well, what do you want us to do for you, man, sir?
Well, I want you to arrest him, obviously. It's so ridiculous. People have anger management problems. That's what I think ultimately I'm teaching people, that they're powerless. They can't control their anger. It's kind of funny. It's like I'm a Socratic teacher just by default. Anyways. What else can I discuss with you? Because I'd like to get back to my recordings here.
Okay, I'll let you go. I'll see you later.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I just was listening to the guy that's running for president. He seemed, president, for the mayor of New York. He seemed like a cool old guy, but I don't know him, so I don't want to say he's whatever.
He's a young guy. Yeah.
No, it's another dude. They just had him on Godfrey podcast. And he's a...
Talk about Paul.
No, hell no. Paul's white. This is a guy, black guy. An old black guy.
An old black guy. There's no old black guy running for mayor.
It definitely is. No, not Eric Adams either. It definitely is. I don't know his name, but he was on the last Godfrey. He was on the last Godfrey episode. Hold on, let me look on my Spotify, and it's not Adams though. He's independent. He's running independent.
No, he's not running for mayor. He's not running for mayor, so I don't know.
Did I get too much stuff today? Did I get too much stuff today? Or was America founded on religious freedoms, not Christianity?
Yeah.
Nah, he was joking. It's founded on religious freedoms. You're right. He was joking though, I think.
No,
Whoever said that.
He was not joking.
That was Ashton.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought everybody was okay.
Well, I mean, they're right as far as that is concerned because, yeah, people have I was going to get into that. Yes, people have the right to, worship whatever they would like. But I'm saying as far as how America's constructed and all that kind of stuff, America, the way that it is, some of the bodies believe in Christianity. You know what I mean? We don't have a government religion, but when people think of America, they think of it as a Christian nation. Some people do. that kind of stuff. Maybe not everybody, but there was a time that most people in surveys called themselves Christian, especially in the 80s and 50s. Today, that has tailed way off. That people nowadays do not associate themselves with most, if not any, religion. So there are some people who they don't associate with anything, and that has ballooned over the decades for whatever reason, and that was in various surveys too.
So Ty, you're talking about Michael Blake.
1776.
Wait, Ty, you're talking about Michael Blake, and he's 42, so he's not old. Is Ty still here? Go ahead, Sandra.
No, that was Diesel talking about the mayor. Is his name Dave Temple?
No, I think he's talking about Michael Blake, and he's 42, but he said some old guy, and he's 42.
That was me who said the old guy
Oh, who?
is running for the mayor. Diesel. That's Diesel who
Oh,
said that.
Dido. Okay, so you're talking about Michael Blake, and he's 42 years old. So if you think that's
Well, I'm older than him, so that's
okay,
crazy.
you said an old guy.
Well, he looked older than me, so maybe
He got a little
maybe his
something,
aesthetic
He got a little something.
maybe his aesthetic is a little older than me then.
Yeah, somebody was saying something about 1772. What did you say? 1772 and what?
I said, was that what the survey said, that the people were Christian in 1776? Because the reason they left England was to get away from
Christianity
the religious
Catholic
crap that
Church
we were doing over there.
and the taxes
over
and
here
shit.
to be free.
Well, yes,
Practice whatever religion they want to.
They still
There are so many different religions here, girl. Please.
Well, yes, from England, they still
What's the
were.
argument?
Well, she was saying from 1776. I'll have to look at a lot of records in that. I was just looking at ones from the 50s and 60s. I didn't go back that far, but back then, yes, the people escaped persecution under versions of Christianity, but even those who came to this country still peeled off versions of Christianity. It may not have been under the Catholic faith of the way they did it in England, but they fled that because it was so oppressive, whereas versions of Christianity today allow you to worship the way you want, and you have different denominations that have branched off of that kind of stuff. So, Catholics and others, Protestants and all that other kind of stuff, it still is under, kind of that Christian type realm. So that's what I think about it in this country when it comes to religion and how it's kind of branched and gotten, the way that it is today. Maybe not commercialized. Some would say yes, some would say no, but I think even the commercializing of religion puts it in its place where it is today. That's what I think about it.
The people who came here from England weren't without a religion. They were Puritans and Puritan separatists who wanted to read the Church of England Catholic.
You are right. You are right. Yeah.
But what's the argument here that Christianity wasn't very influential, that Christianity was? I don't know.
No, we was talking about the girl, and it evolved into this. We was talking about the girl who got told to go back to her country and shit from the teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that either. I think that's horribly embarrassing for a teacher to talk to a student like that. Here in Dallas Fort Worth, the teacher got caught on camera abusing a student, and she and the other folks in that classroom are possibly going to go to prison because she can't hit a student. They later found out that the student was disabled and was now known to be nonverbal, and she was saying some very, very horrible stuff. They had to blank it out on television. It was that bad. But they're facing jail time. You don't do that stuff. Did that person go to jail? Do y'all know any charges or anything?
No, she didn't go to jail. Hey, so check this out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think Philip put in the chat, forecasting models predicted that the current steep U.S. aid funding cuts could result in 8.5 million and 19.7 million excess deaths, with our best estimates being around 14 million. And then he added, the Lancet it is evaluating the impact of 2 decades of USAID interventions, and it projects the effects of defunding on mortality up to 2030.
Is that because of the big no beautiful bill? I'm not calling it the big beautiful bill, whatever people want to call it. That's up to you. Is that information
That was
on the bill?
Elon. That was Elon cutting USAID when they first, when Trump first, like, earlier when they first got, well, very 6 months in, earlier on, last, George Soros and the left were accused of, trying to or Bill Gates, somebody, to depopulate the world, and here we are. He's actually doing.
Most of them are accused of it, especially Bill Gates' wife, ex-wife
Well, it
now.
turns out it's Elon Musk doing
Yeah.
I always hear these arguments about Bill Gates, and to be honest with you, I know somebody that was a recipient of something that Bill Gates does, and I really don't have the same bullshit that everybody has. I actually like the program that some of the programs that he has. I like a lot of the. Didn't he do something in Africa with? I know this sounds old and bullshit to us, like with eradicating like polio or some shit.
Yeah, I mean he's done a lot to save lives for someone who wants to depopulate them.
I agree. I'm saying that's a trope that people on the right put out there about him. But like I said, it was Elon Musk that cut USAID, and that's what we were talking about. So, yeah.
Yeah, the depopulation stuff, I was in another space, not this space, and they were talking about that, and I just sat there and I said, man, ain't no way in the world you would want to depopulate the earth because you need somewhat of standing armies, all kinds of reasons why you would want to have a good, healthy population. I just don't understand this kind of stuff. It's either the good Lord put it here or the good Lord will take it. But people should not play God. Like, I've never heard about Bill Gates doing any of this kind of stuff, or really anybody, unless it's dealing with something maybe in a lab or molecular structures or something dealing with microbiology or other stuff, but not things talking about depopulating the earth. I've never read that from any science, just medical thing, any of that. I've never read that kind of stuff in my life. I mean, I don't know about y'all.
Okay.
What book does that help me out?
Alright, so do you want to let's let Philip go ahead and explain what he was putting in the chat real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, so projections suggest that, I'm reading through from the paper, projections suggest that ongoing deep funding cuts combined with potential dismantling of the agency could result in more than 14 million additional deaths by 2030, including 4.25 million deaths among children younger than 5 years. I'm kind of speechless. I'm just myself okay by the study, to be honest. Most of this is in African countries, right? So it is programs such as vaccination, such as HIV/AIDS, mortality reduction, malaria, tropical diseases, etc., etc. Like the paper goes into breakdown by tuberculosis, nutrition deficiencies, lower respiratory infections, maternal conditions. So they forecasted program by program. That's the top line number for all of them combined. The 14 million is, I think, the best estimate. They provide a range of estimates. So on the lower range of estimates is 8.5 million. On the higher end is 19.7 million, with their best estimate being 14 million. This is terrific.
Yeah, put that into a calculator. That is not proportional. That is really bad. I was sitting up there trying to put that in there. That's really bad, and that is under the Republican watch that is done, and they do not care. Just like they don't care in this country that 1 in 3 out of 1 in 3 Americans, they don't have a meal to eat tonight. Zero, nothing. And so that's a problem. That's really embarrassing.
Especially if your country is hella fat. We're supposed to be the fattest country. And one of the only people ain't eating, that's wild.
Yeah, and
we throw shit away like a motherfucker, so damn.
I don't know. I mean, we serve a lot of people. We've served some 10,000 some people in the last 2 weeks. We've seen the need balloon ourselves, where we've had to move stuff to a massive warehouse to move all that stuff to get people fed. It is an undertaking. It is so sad to see people in America who have told us we don't have this and this and this to eat, and that is concerning. And they said they've seen that balloon and grow since the pandemic, and now that Donald Trump's in office, they say they will see a 22% jump in people in this region needing food. That's embarrassing. In this region alone, that's sad.
You know, it's crazy that a lot of Americans that on the Republican side that really don't see. Like, I know the motherfuckers that said no, that's right.
Yeah.
But when it comes to these USA contracts, you know who actually gets them? It's usually the American companies. Like, when we have to, like, let's say the bottled water, guess who is the bottled water supplier when it comes to certain USA? It's Coca-Cola. It's Coca-Cola. Do a Google search. It's Coca-Cola.
I didn't know.
Like, this shit is fucking ridiculous. Like, these U.S. aid is putting money back into American pockets, as well as giving us access to, like having new trading. Like, I don't even understand why these people fight U.S. aid like it's a fucking crime.
That is a lie they tell. It's a lie they tell. They want to cause harm to people, but put it under the guise of saving money, right? And it's just a lie. It's a hateful ideology espoused by people like Elon Musk and some of his other tech bros. I'm going to use them like people use George Soros, so get ready for that. And now, just mark it out.
None of these Christians will bat an eye. They won't bat an eye. These MAGA Christians won't bat an eye at millions of people dead. They don't care. They were saying, open a non-profit. That's what one told me yesterday. Open a non-profit and feed all these people. If you care about people so much, why don't you feed them? That's what one told me yesterday in this room.
Oh, embarrassing. I mean, and people, man, that ain't gonna work. I mean, people know that folks are struggling in this country to keep their head above water. Now you continue to read a bunch of stuff where people's credit is now going to be affected by the credit loan. You know, I read a bunch of boring stuff, but this is what it is. That this stuff could go on your credit. It could drop your credit by 103 points, but in some places and all that, depending on how it's reported. I find that to be egregious and could affect a lot of people from getting basic stuff. I don't know, from car loans to whatever you consider basic. It is really embarrassing when you continue to read even the bill. I told y'all I fell asleep, you know what I mean, because I couldn't read it. I had to put it into a machine and try to put those pages in there so it'll read it, so I could listen to it audibly. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of folks going to be affected, and you just keep reading, and it just gets, it gets really bad, y'all. Just keep reading the bill to the best of your ability. Put it in a machine if you can't read it all. A lot.
I mean, shit, though, I don't think that it's gonna pass because of most of the Medicaid and those type of implications that it got in it. So they're gonna have to redo it for sure. But If you asking a millionaire, if you asking,
And they're supposed to be
but they still the house.
You know the house. The house ain't where you been?
I don't think that they're gonna pass the bill.
The fuck?
Okay, well, shit.
We're still gonna have a lot
You
of.
can cuss, but that ain't gonna do shit for the
Not
conversation.
everybody's happy. Not everyone's happy with it in the house. Not everyone's happy about it in the house. So we're still gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pass. I just don't think it is.
Yeah.
And they got a couple of Republicans.
And you know what people said, Diesel? You know what people said? The first time it passed in the House, you know, Margaret Taylor Greene said, she said, "Oop, I signed it, but I didn't read it." She actually fucking said that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, she actually said that. So they will pass it again. Maybe a couple of things will be taken out, but they will pass it again. It already passed through the House. It's already been through the Senate. So yeah, they're gonna pass this thing. It's basically done.
I mean, they gotta listen. It was read out loud for some 15 hours. It's like if you can't even take part of that and understand that it's a bad bill, yes, it'll probably be revised and all of that. Who knows? Who knows where that's gonna go once it goes to the second. So it's already been revised. Wow. So that bill, you know, been revised and so on and so forth. It's just not a good bill. At least what I could read of it and get of it, it's a lot of pages to try to read yourself. I really do suggest y'all to buy a machine that can scan that stuff.
You suggested that yesterday. Alright, so, and there's summaries and there's stuff that people could read online. We already that's trash. But people will sign that because they don't want to go against Trump, right? They're scared of Trump. So they have, you know, thrown their own constituents under the fucking bus, into the fire, taking away their hospitals in their areas, taking away all these different things, and they did it for Trump. They worship, it's like a worship, and they feel like they don't want to be the ones to go against him.
So there's 5 House Republicans against it now. I think they can only afford, 2 or 3 to vote against it? I don't know what the heck.
The bad show, because it's like when he turns to play recordings all these hours. He said he was going to primary them April.
Yeah, but you heard what Elon came out and said he's going to financially support Massey against Trump's primary challenge. So Elon basically was like, yeah, I heard what Trump said, but I'm going to pay for your campaign.
And when is that?
Different. That might make
2026, that's a long time ago. I'm just saying.
You said Massey? What state is Massey? You said Massey?
Kentucky. Kentucky, no?
Massey, Kentucky.
Diesel, I'm just gonna apologize to Patty in the stage. I do curse, and I'm gonna stop that on the stage. You might hear me curse.
No, that's all good. You good.
I mean, 17 million people.
So I just want to make it clear. I'm
17 million people losing their health care is a reason to curse. We just heard tens of millions of people that are going to lose their life because of USAID. That's another reason to curse. I mean, so there's a lot of reasons to curse. So if you're sensitive, like, I don't know, have a cup of tea or do yoga or some shit.
I'm trying to be calm, saying I don't want.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't really think that this is a time to be calm, right? Because a lot of fuckery is happening. So I think you have an appropriate response. It's some fuck shit. It's some fuck shit.
I'm gonna console myself by watching MAGAs on wherever they are on social media, talking about how it harms them in the coming weeks. Because that's the only thing that's going to get me through these next 3.5 horror years and what lies beyond. We don't know.
for a lot of people, April, folks, you know, in these rural areas and smaller towns. Some folks were on the news talking about here that their rural hospital could close. They would have to drive 73 miles into Dallas Fort Worth, which that sucks.
What's going to happen to the care of Dallas Fort Worth then taking on those extra people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't.
There's a certain capacity every hospital has. I don't care how big you are. There's only so many beds. Depending on how much staff you have present that day. I used to work in hospitals, and census is a daily thing. Sometimes 3 times a day thing. Check.
My people, yeah. So I mean, look,
Honestly,
hey.
I think if you're in a rural area and you voted for this, you should get exactly what you're looking
Yeah, it's not only going to close hospitals, but it's going to be people in the healthcare field are basically going to lose their jobs because once this Medicare is cut down, a lot of these places ain't going to be able to stay afloat anywhere, and that's going to say, okay, well, we need less staff because we can't get the people, and there's nobody to come in, so less staff. They're going to start cutting everything, so it'll be a spiral down effect. This industry is doomed. I'm just keeping it real. We had a discussion about it at work today. We knew it was going to happen. It's just obvious. And I hate to have the whole doom and gloom thing, but it's like, it's the same thing that was in the financial field. It's like, I've been in these fields, and you understand how the money flows. When you understand how the money flows, you know what's going to happen next, and what's going to happen after that, what's going to happen after that. So it's pretty obvious. They just screwed us over by one fucking spending bill.
You mathematically know that tariffs are horrible. Since you were in the financial field, there was a Republican in another room saying tariffs are great and they're going to benefit us. And I'm like, dude, no, when have tariffs ever benefited America? And crickets in the room. It's just another talking point, believing that we will all have a trickle-down effect from tariffs. No, we're eating the high prices of tariffs, which Donald Trump said that he would essentially not be the high-priced president, which now that has been a failure, and said he would not put us into some kind of war, which that has been an utter failure. This is not looking good for us all the way around. Those folks who are Republican, now you want your vote back, and now you want your ticket back. At the end of the day, y'all voted for this fool, y'all gonna have to make it happen.
Well, currently I'm in the healthcare field, not in the financial anymore. But the people that get hit first when it comes to these tariffs are definitely going to be your front workers in retail. Like that's where it all starts. And of course, all of the ports and things like that, they get hit hard with all of this because, again, you know, less shipments, less spending, less everything because you can't raise things and people just don't spend less. That's what happened on the front end retail side. As far as this particular spending bill, and there's so many parts to it that's just insane. But specifically the SNAP bill and the healthcare cuts, as well as the tax cuts, that's going to hit everybody, and it's going to be simultaneous. So good luck, yo. I said this shit, like, didn't I say all of this shit back in November? I was like, yeah, by the end of this year, we're going to reach a fucking recession. I said this shit. I mean, it's like not that hard to get. And it's coming from the guy who went to what school? In business economics. That guy, he did this.
I'm not sure about the recession, no, Royal. I'm not on board with that. The percentages of hitting a recession have dropped significantly. So I'm not as convinced on that. And also, we're just going to have to, in the future, eat tariffs anyway. Even if there's a Democratic president elected in 2028, you're going to probably have to keep tariffs because if you look at the annual deficit every year now, it's increasing at such a pace that soon it's going to crowd out all spending if you don't increase revenue. So revenues are going to have to be increased, and you're already going to have to do some tough cuts at some point. So you'll probably have to accept tariffs as a way to increase revenue for the treasury.
It's not
Well,
gonna
see,
increase revenue because Matt doesn't want to increase revenue.
CEO, I think you're forgetting.
Hold on, I'm asking CEO a question. How are we gonna increase revenue? Tell Matt how we're gonna increase it.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to increase corporate taxes most definitely, and at some point you are going to have to tax the top 1% more. I mean, at some point you can't avoid it at some point.
Now, I thought this bill is going to cut that out.
Oh, no, let me explain this. Okay, so thank you.
Cut that off.
Okay, so thank you for saying. Let me explain this because this is like one of the biggest tricks that's being communicated. So when it says it only is adding 2.8 trillion to the debt, it's saying 2.8 trillion on top of what the projected debt already is. So over the next 10 years, we're going to already add about 13 trillion to the debt. This is an additional 2.8 trillion on top of that. So over the next 10 years, we're looking at 16 trillion in debt, which will put us around a $53 trillion national debt, which means that the annual payments for that, the interest payments are going to be so high, it's going to crowd out social programs.
Because it's what, 37 or 34?
Defense, by the time you pay for defense and entitlements, that's going to be 90% of your budget. We're barely going to have any money for anything else unless you increase your revenue.
Yeah.
Or you start cutting defense spending.
Yeah, so
Is it 34 trillion right now? 37.
37. It's 37 right now.
The biggest thing I think we're missing is the high tariffs that Donald Trump wants to come in hot with. We should, if you have a Democratic president, at least lower those tariffs. You may not get rid of all of them or whatever.
We lowered tariffs and we already lowered taxes.
Well, Donald Trump is talking about.
We got to get some revenue from somewhere.
Yeah, we do, and we don't tax the rich, and we don't tax a lot of corporations. ExxonMobil, these big corporations. You do the math, that could be a lot of money pumped into the country that we don't. They can get it. You can get it from ExxonMobil. You can get it from ExxonMobil in places that don't. You understand? When you do their math for that, they don't pay a lot of tax either. They offshoot that money offshore, and so a lot of that money they don't have to account for. That's also something the government can go after. They can go after people who have that money offshore and go get that money and make folks pay taxes on money offshore and all that stuff. So yeah, look into that too. There's where you get your money from too.
Well, first of all, when it comes to the tariffs, that's all consumption tax, right? So
It is.
The thing about that I'm saying, and I'm trying to explain earlier with CEO, is there's going to be people spending less. There's going to be less consumption because why? People are not going to have any money. You cut SNAP benefits, money gets rerouted to, the consumption money gets rerouted. You get whatever little change you get the food you got to basically pay for your kids' lunch and breakfast that you didn't have to pay for, when you send them to school every day. The SNAP benefits are cut, so now that's got more money coming out of your pocket, so that means you're buying less things, even the things that you need that are made in other countries. That's gone. So you can just eliminate that whole thing right with the tariffs. It just doesn't matter. The other part of it is the fact that there will be jobs cuts because of things like the Medicare and Medicaid programs being cut down. We're talking about 16 million people losing their benefits. Well, guess what? Not only those people are going to have to somehow come out their pockets, if they have any pockets for this, but all of the workers who would have been able to take care of them, they're not going to have any money, so they're going to cut those jobs. And that's across the board on all different levels. We're talking about from healthcare providers that are physicians, administrators, down to the janitor. They're all going to get cut because they're losing a method of payment that was by a whole bunch of Americans in need. It's gone. And on top of that, all of the mechanisms of regulations are gone too. All of that's gone. That's out the window.
So which is crazy. Which is crazy that if we impose a different tax on the 1%, like they was just saying, I'm pretty sure that would take care of it. You're not charging Elon Musk. I live in the Bay Area where it's a Tesla dealership, and they don't even charge them fools taxes. Like, but you charge all the workers taxes? That shit don't make sense to me. I don't get it.
Well, it's not that they don't get paid.
Obama in the chat said something very interesting. If consumption is going up. Are you fucking joking right now? Come up here and explain, because I don't understand what you mean consumption is going up. I guess he's gone. He left.
It doesn't matter what consumption is doing right now. I'm talking about what's going to eventually happen as tariffs take its place. Remember, tariffs are still coming online even up to this month. It's not like it just like hit in one shot and all of a sudden everything went up in one shot. No, by the end of the year, you're gonna see the price increase.
So it did shoot up before the tariffs, and that was because people.
Right, but not everything.
Right. So now it's down.
What's supposed to be the argument? Because I kind of.
Well, it's not a contention. It's just the fact that it's making the realization of what these policies are going to cause. And what I'm arguing is it will go to a recession because people will lose jobs, there'll be less spending. Hey, there's less money to spend to begin with, and then you have less tax dollars. And the government seems to be cutting funding for various programs that includes academic programs, R&D, all of these different things that the government was paying for when it comes to schools and kids, head stuff, all that stuff is gone. There's nothing all away. So less money means less jobs, less spending, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, but Royal, like, the economy is a lot more. Okay, the economy is a lot more intricate than it used to be. So when you look at the gig economy and how that continues to expand, and when you look at the global economy and how many more opportunities there are, you can't just predict a recession like we're looking at the world 15 years ago. So again, the expectations for a recession have gone down significantly, and the odds are after some of these trade deals are completed, the economy's going to probably go up. So I don't agree with you on that.
When you talk about the gig economy, I was going to say, I'm in the gig economy as well as I have a 9 to 5. And in my gig economy, I can tell you exactly what it looks like. Okay, I'm a DJ, right? I'm a DJ, for instance, right? Like all of my clientele are either stores or rich people. I'm not getting any middle class clients at all. Like they just can't even afford me, like at all, because it's completely different from what it was even 2 years ago. Like which means I'm making less money because I'm losing all of those clients. They just can't afford to pay the rates. So now what?
Yeah, so the gig economy's I can. The gig economy's up.
I'm going to ask you to explain, but go ahead.
Okay. The gig economy is up 20% in 2025 compared to 2024. And Royal, what's happening, and I'm seeing this in my business, by the way, is a lot of people are holding their money right now. Or they don't feel comfortable spending it because of the level of uncertainty. And I met with I'm in a CEO peer group, and many of us are going through the same thing. So it's not that a lot of businesses, they have the money, but they're not spending it. So once the tariff thing gets set, if that ever truly gets settled, then you're going to see a lot more liquidity in the marketplace.
So people don't.
Okay, thanks. So my question was, I don't understand how you're factoring the gig economy into stemming a recession. That's my first part. And then the second part related to that is when you said the people are holding their money, those are people who have money to hold, right? But when you're talking about, because we know like the economy is primarily driven by the people who have the least amount of what is it called? I don't know my words now. Expendable cash or whatever the right term is. So I don't see how you're analysis fits those people who don't have money they can sit on, who literally their outgo is in essentials. How does that and the gig economy stem a recession? I'm confused on that.
Okay, so I data on the first point, and not so much the second one, so I'm gonna let that be. On the first point, what ends up happening is we used to be in an economy where if you didn't have a full-time job, or if you didn't have a small business, then you were SOL, right? But now, this alternative with the gig economy gives you another way to generate revenue. Anyone can be an Uber driver, etc. So it allows people to find work and to get multiple things from them. So that has created more elasticity in terms of what job opportunities, income earning opportunities are. So that shift plays a big role in the economy compared to 10, 15 years ago.
But okay, so people lose their jobs and they go and drive Uber. Who's riding in these Ubers?
The Uber, the rideshare economy, yeah, I know, I understand what you're saying. Rideshare economy and the food delivery economy, etc., all these things collectively are trending up, right? Because people are becoming more accustomed to using them. So this is all trending up. It is nowhere near its peak because there's still the education side of this happening. This market is only going to grow more. So the demand in this market will continue to go up. And you now have and I'll give you one example. You now have walking cities where a lot of developers are beginning to basically say, okay, we don't have to worry about people having cars, right? This used to just be a thing in New York City, but now it's in Vegas, Nashville, and other places where we're building communities where you assume your tenants aren't going to have cars, and they basically are going to ride share everywhere. So this is beginning to come into urban planning.
Okay, so like I hear a lot of spin. I'm sorry. Let me first agree before disagreeing. I agree that the recession indicators were blinking much more brighter red earlier before some of the trade, like restoration of some certainty in trade deals. I think we'll still see, but if we look at different forecasts, they moved the forecasting down to like 38%. Like JP Morgan took down the forecast for recession from 60% during the most chaotic Trump announcements, right, to now to 40%. So I guess 40% is better than 60%. I agree with you there. But my next point would be on the savings. So people deferring investment or consumption and sitting on their savings is oftentimes indicative of slowdowns or recessions of the economy, because some people's saving is other people's lost income because it's not spent the economy, it's not spent into other people's pockets, right? So that's definitionally slowdown. Whether slowdown is a recession, like we'll get to that in a second. The other point, gig economy, yes, does provide.
Can we focus on your savings point for 1 second before you go to the gig economy? Okay. So that point actually supports what I was trying to say, which is a lot of people are sitting on their money right now because of the uncertainty, but I expect that money to get deployed by the time we get to Q4, because if the tariff situation is resolved, people will feel more.
Sure.
I have a question.
Can I finish my point?
Yeah, go.
My bad.
Yeah. The deployment of later, it's still missed time in the quarterly economy, right? That's why whatever happens, right? You have already slowed down GDP forecast for an anemic year of growth in the United States. So whether you hit the recession, you don't hit the recession, all of this is bad, right? I don't understand why we're trying to find a silver lining to a slowdown in economy, and that's to my second point. Yes, the economy does create some elasticity for the rest of the economy. That doesn't mean it's a good thing, because it's a precarious work when people go into that work when they don't have better opportunities. In a slowdown, or a recession, right? That's why gig economies above trend participation correlates also with slowdowns or recessions, right? So why are we celebrating? Okay, I guess it's a good thing to have an elastic pool of jobs that people can do, sure. But is it a good thing?
Well,
Overall, no.
the good part about it, though, Phil, is that now you have people who otherwise just wouldn't have income, who do have income. So you have some people who, like they may have been staying at home for whatever reason and now can do gig work, or you have people who are in between jobs and normally they just would be collecting unemployment. They can do gig stuff. So that is the transit.
Seal, I understand what you're saying, but that's like these, and I can reply.
Very rare,
A lot of people getting out of work is good for me because it's going to lower inflation, and just lower inflation is good for the economy. And I can spin that all of the Trump policies are anti-inflationary because they drive United States economy into recession, but it's good because
I'm not trying to go there.
like the basic limit to like. I'm not saying you're defending policies, but maybe too much silver lining again.
Think about this policy. I mean, or this question or thought. You have a lot of Americans, when you do the math on aggregate, a lot of Americans don't even have $1,000 to hold on to. So you're talking about the 3% or a pool of people who have the money to sit on. That's fine for those who have it, or liquidity, or whatever the case may be. That's good for you or whomever may have that, but a lot of other people do not have backup retirement or savings or this kind of stuff. Those are the people that sometimes, most of the time, they're not going to concern themselves with Wall Street when they are financially sinking to try and raise their head above water. That's a problem that some of these market folks sometimes don't think about when you see people struggling in Main Street. You folks do talk about the market and all of this, and those arrows blink bright and they were green, Dow Jones and all that, up, great, but the average American's like, okay, because that's something I want y'all to think about and stuff. I do math, I look at that stuff. Yeah, it's great for those who like it or whatever, but it's also a lot of charts and it can be boring. At the end of the day, most Americans ain't reading no charts and they ain't looking at no stock market. So that's something I want you to think about, especially for those who may not have even an average $1,000 to $2,000 on average in their savings account. That's something to think about. That's some big math, and it's a lot of people in aggregate in that math that fit that.
I guess one of the things we have to think of is like, what does success look like for the economy, right? Because if we go back to the Clinton years, we had budget surpluses, we had an internet boom, we had stock market. We had a stock market going up, we had low unemployment, and do you know only 59% of Americans were satisfied with that economy? So, like, if that gives you 59% satisfaction, well, how can you do better, right? So, it seems like structurally, it just seems like structurally, with capitalism, with our economy, like you're gonna always have some challenges.
That's the last time that the 1%, 5%, whatever percent they want to say was taxed.
Right.
Yeah. So if we go back to a time when taxed, then we can get back them surpluses and shit like that. But we can't because they want to hide. Right? Yeah, they want to hide. They want to hide their money.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But what about the fact that only 59% were happy with that economy?
But you shifted to consumer satisfaction, which wasn't, or maybe I'm confused because I didn't think that was the issue. Right? Like that's a different measure. I thought we were talking about. I'm sorry.
I
keep
Go ahead, Dr. AG. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I thought we were I thought you were dealing just sort of with the quote unquote like abstract or the objective like numbers in the economy more so than how people feel about the economy, because that's a different conversation, I think, when you talk about like consumer satisfaction or whatever. Or did I miss something?
Well, I was responding to Ashton because Ashton was pointing to the amount of people who, are experiencing some level of challenge, right? And so what I was just saying is like, I don't know what the definition of a successful economy is. Based on like, what do we call a successful economy?
I mean, first of all, not shutting down the programs that keep people out of poverty. You have this bill that's gonna shut down a lot of programs that help uplift children and their families out of poverty. I read a lot of that bill, and it's embarrassing.
Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Sorry.
Hold on for a second. Yeah, but that I think that goes off. I don't know. Okay.
Let me give a short answer to that. Right? Moderately targeted inflation rate around 2%. Some people prefer slightly higher, some people prefer slightly lower, but around that number. High GDP growth, right? Or at least trendline GDP growth, 3%, something around that point at least. Maximum employment, right? And let's cut with that.
What percentage is maximum employment?
Well, what Federal Reserve considers full employment, let's go by that metric.
So what is that, like 4% unemployment?
I think it's lower, but yeah, I think it's around that number.
Okay, yeah, so in that scenario, though, like, will there still be people who are struggling, and will politicians still be able to say, not enough Americans are doing well, and Americans are struggling, et cetera?
Yeah, of course, and they should have targeted policies to alleviate the
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. Policies make things work for those on the bottom as well. You can't just have a bunch of policies that work for those on the top and those on the bottom are failing and dipping more into poverty, or those who have student loans are now having to eat that. That's the stuff I'm talking about. That's not okay. And that does
but the challenge,
I'd rather say it like this. We now have policies that will possibly put people at danger, put people income security, people who are fully employed, people who are able to handle the economy the way it is at this point. And now with these particular policies, we probably won't. That's the major problem.
Can we not move that fast? Can we not move that fast, maybe? And like my basic 3 points, we can talk about income inequality, economic mobility, poverty alleviation, and all of that in a second, right? But the basic 3 points that I outlined are not met by the Trump administration.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but like, I guess the thing about it is that you're gonna still have income inequality, and so it's always gonna create the same kind of structural challenge. So, for instance, in the black community, in the early 1990s, the poverty rate was around 33%, and today it's around like 15% or so. The country as a whole, the poverty rate has gone down significantly, but I don't, in many cases, the arguments, the conversations are the same as they were 30 years ago, because what people see is the disparity. So it's not only like, it's not only raising the floor, but it's like raising the floor and you still have the disparity. So what structurally, how do you fix that?
See, I'm not catching the conversation, right? Like, are we talking about how people feel or experience things, or are we talking like some numbers that we have a certain level of confidence in? And
it's a blend. It's a blend of the two things, because we're using data data points, and part of those data points are tied to how people are saying or doing, how the economy is working for them. So it's both conversations simultaneously.
Yeah, can we separate them? Because, I mean,
But so for instance, if we were to separate them and go purely off an analytical perspective, then the second best period after the Clinton years was Trump 2017 to 2019, right? So that good.
I'm so confused because I didn't know that the conversation was comparative. I thought there was a conversation about whether or not we are facing the potential of a recession and what are the market or what are the economic indicators that best allow us to answer that conversation, right? And so
I went down an Ashton rabbit hole. I can go out of it. I can come back out of it. Okay, I'll come out of it.
Don't blame me. I'm not sending y'all.
It was your rabbit hole, Ashton. It was.
Look, it's a thought. I mean, it was a thought, but yes, you can separate it and talk about it later. I do understand that. I just brought that up because not everybody has money to sit on. That's what I was saying because they were talking about people holding their money, and I thought there are some people out there that may not have money to hold. That's all I
I
was
just want
saying.
to let y'all know CEO loves the rabbit hole.
CEOs in here? All right.
You talking to me? What's up?
Hi, you're in here. Hi, that's what I said.
Oh, got it.
CEO.
Not Mel throwing me under the bus 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know, you was loving that rabbit hole yesterday.
CEO, what I had said was about the taxes and shit.
It was me, Dr. A.G. April. I was wondering what is going on. I needed to hear you say that.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, can you hear it? I'm like, what's happening?
Well, Dr. A.G., I hope you appreciate that I self-declared a rabbit hole.
Yes, CEO, thank you.
See, I mean, that sounds like a clear and present thing that could happen, and it's being like glossed over by, you know what I'm saying, by everybody. Like, this is,
What is it?
I just was talking about the taxes that could be imposed on the 1%. Or 5% or 10% or whatever it is. No, the elite, the people that had the oligarchs in this country.
Right, but when is that going to happen?
The people that don't pay taxes, but they make us pay taxes.
Right, but
the everyday person.
right, but hold on. But that's not an option that we're facing. Or did I miss something that happened in the news recently? Somebody's background is loud.
Let's tease him.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Like, yeah, we can say, well, if this, if that, if this. What do the people say all the time? If was offensive.
No, Doc, I just was using that as a solution. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was saying that could be a solution. That's what was happening when we did have a surplus that he was just talking about. When we had the money.
Right, Diesel, but that's not an option. Like, it's not a reasonable option. It's not a part of what anybody who's making this decision is considering at the moment. Right? Like, nobody, that's what I'm saying, unless I missed something, nobody has introduced that as a resolution to the impending effects of the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, not in this bill,
So-
not by what I read.
So
You're
that's
right.
what I thought, like, we were talking about. Like, what? So I'm gonna go on mute because maybe I was asleep.
you're right. In this bill, they're not going to tax the rich or the elite or whatever. That's not. In fact, they're getting more relief or whatever you want to call it. So I didn't see anything in that where it says they're going to be taxed really in any kind of way. As far as I was concerned, I didn't see anything like that.
I do think.
What now? Repeat it again.
We can't hear you. Can you take the pillow off your mouth? Take your mouth off the pillow.
You got some mentions down there.
Here.
We fucking can't hear. Somebody
He's saying 47.
It's like
But they pay out the
years for
taxes,
that.
right? Those uses.
Yeah, and plus, like, you love to drag poor people, bro. You do. It's weird. A lot of poor people are, guess what, self-employed. Self-employed people they have to pay their own self-employment taxes. They have to pay taxes. Like, what are we talking about? Those maids, they see it, work for themselves, they pay taxes even though they don't get paid that much. Right? So what are we talking about? Right? The domestic workers have clients that are laundry ladies, right? So they're self-employed, they pay taxes, even though they're very, they don't make that much. So I know you love saying this, you love repeating the same shit over and over. Like you magically think it's gonna come true, but it's not. It's not. It's not. It's
Well,
not.
no, he made there's a very
The shit pretty limit. I might open the window so I can jump out. And I'm in the fucking trenches every day from the low income taxpayers. So no, you're not gonna fucking keep repeating the same bullshit. Let's get ready to catch me because I'm about to jump.
I got you, girl. Just put your magazines out, okay?
Oh my God.
I don't know if the parachute gonna save me from a four-story home, but
Being poor is a tax in itself. Being poor in America is a tax in itself.
But what Elon Musk gets like 10 times from the government, don't nobody say.
okay. I have a question for Matt real quick. I just want to know if he's gonna be honest. Have you seen the latest news regarding Iran and what they found? Like they got satellites saying people moving around and the trucks and they got cranes and stuff. Have you heard the latest news on that?
Yeah.
That it wasn't completely obliterated. Oh, you got the information that there's some movement, but you got some additional information saying that nuclear is at zero. And amazing. Okay. All right, Mr.
I think Iran's got a thing on Trump and Netanyahu. I don't know, 4th of July is coming up, but
I mean, at this point, just tell them that yes, you're under 0% nuclear capacity, so they don't accidentally resume the war. It's zero capacity now. It's zero.
Why are they saying that it's not? Why are they saying that they moved their stuff before that happened? And we all hearing conflicting things because I for sure can pull up an article right now that says that they moved they stockpiled before they even got bombed.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna say the thing that makes them look the best. So we're going to continue to hear conflicting narratives, and you just have to assume that the truth is somewhere triangulated between the three different stories.
I read that Donald Trump wants the DOJ to go after CNN for reporting offset.
Yeah, that's the thing, I guess. The worrying stuff is that the intelligence community is debating the stuff in sort of leaks, and this is not a good look for intelligence community. I guess military is not as implicated as the intelligence community when the leaks are. I mean, I don't think we should prosecute people. The fact that there seems to be widespread disagreement on the results of the strike within U.S. government.
Trump told you in Helsinki that he didn't believe his intelligence people, and he meant that first time around.
But they said they won't wait on the Israeli investigation. And I was listening to the Israeli investigation, and it doesn't say what man is reporting. So I'm just, I'm confused. I don't know what to believe these days. Hey, Deborah.
Don't believe Matt. yeah, man.
Hey, have you guys seen? Hey, have you guys seen TNN? Has that news reporter been around? What's TNN? Trent. Oh yeah, you was in PhD room earlier. Oh, I haven't seen him. I thought TNN was taking a vacation. Since I yelled at him, he went back. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's probably broadcasting on the other side.
He's scared of Deborah. Deborah didn't drag him.
I mean, if he needs an apology, just send him away.
I don't apologize if he's scared, but I don't think that's it. I'm harmless.
No, I think he was really pissed when we yelling at him because he left and never came back. And then, all right, anyway, you asked about Trent, now what?
He'll be back on that Johnny Walker. For you, First Lady, he can come back.
Oh, whatever. It grinds my gears. Hello?
What's new, guys? Because my eyes is closing already. What's new?
Alright, are we gonna talk about this clubhouse town hall that nobody?
Oh, that was bullshit. That was bullshit. That was the first one I joined and probably the last one I'll join.
That was bananas. I was thinking,
but you're supposed to send Q&A to them. Go.
Okay.
I was thinking that maybe we should listen to the replays because I was there, but they just completely skipped over the question about the anonymous. He pretty much said, from what I get, that's why I said maybe we need to listen to the replays. But he said that you just need to hold spaces with members only. How does that stop the person if the person isn't?
That's not a solution.
No, hold on. I already spoke to Patty about that when I went to a private, right? And yeah, that's an option. But what happens when the person becomes a member?
That's what I just said. What if the person's already a member?
Yeah.
We don't know. We wouldn't know. The only thing that we can do is block that person. Because that feature does work. If they are blocked from being able to get into the space on their regular face, then they can't come. They're anonymous.
Or we go through all 12,000 members. Whoever don't come in here, we remove, banned. I don't know. That's the only other option. Whatever page, whatever account looks weird, whatever doesn't have a lot of members.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But what I will say is Lips was at the bottom, no friends, in the no friend zone, right? Yesterday. And then later on, they were in the friend zone with a pink ticket.
Well, right now, Lips is at the bottom with the ticket.
Somebody found them. Right. Others in the room, let me pull to refresh. Yeah. Nobody on stage right now follows.
Yeah.
Nobody on stage follows suit.
Whoever Lips is.
The anonymous motherfucker downstairs.
Yeah, I got him blocked on 5 of his accounts.
Yeah, well, it ain't this one.
He got more than 5 accounts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, the anonymous that's at least friends with the speaker, it'll show anonymous friend with the speaker. If they're in the house, it'll show anonymous in the house. It's none of that.
It also feels like if you're afraid of the speaker or if you're in the house, why are you anonymous? Like, that's creepy.
He's a MAGA creep.
That's creepy.
He's a maggot because he got multiple accounts, so there's maggots everywhere.
Those are the worst kind, man.
He's weird as hell. But you know what? Some of his YouTubes, he shows his face. Since we got military on stage, can y'all scan his face in the system? Since he claims he's a veteran. Oh, okay.
But you can look him up on,
Is it his name on this?
his name is John Kitover. John Kitover is crazy. You know, since he likes to straighten the room, maybe we should have a room about John Kitover.
Yeah, we should do that. Dedicate a wonderful space to Kitover.
Yeah.
Y'all know the district he's running in?
They said he lost in Illinois.
Congressional. He actually was in the military. He wears a green uniform. He's mentally disturbed. This is weird. He stalks rooms.
Yeah, there's something weird.
I went to the town.
This dude has 80 followers. They're following 500. He's weird.
And he be streaming all day. Multiple rooms. All day.
If you have been abused by Kitover, come into the space and
John Kitover is weird.
we never start a Me Too campaign for John
That shit
Kitover.
sound like mesothelioma.
Hello?
Some people on stage or that were on stage are friends accidentally, I guess, with him. I was searching to block him, and there are lots of mutuals, like 30 people.
See? Sailing, take me away from where I belong. Who's recording?
First Lady, somebody encouraged you today. I was so proud.
You know who's he's friends with Mojo.
Mojo. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's friends with Mojo because Mojo one time was like, oh, I need a recording. I'm going to go contact so-and-so so he can give me the recording of somebody saying something in this room.
From what I heard,
And he went to speak to him, and then he came back with the recorder.
from what I heard, right, I don't want to put no names on it, but there's some people that we call friends that come in here, use his services to go and look people up and dox them and get them fired. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
That's the thing to do.
Yeah. Well, Clubhouse, if y'all want me to continue, matter of fact, let me end my subscription because I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, I already had my subscription.
And
And I sent messages to all 3 of those mother effers that was on the stage doing that
this is
meeting.
abuse. This is abuse. Shut up, Esther.
People shouldn't be able to make money off of other people's content.
When I first brought this up, people were like, well, everybody's recording anyway.
Yeah, well, see I was thinking like how the other people record. They usually just record the voice, but this jack has
Correct.
is recording the
a little different.
That's no.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
You don't have my permission to do that. Like,
And I don't like recording at all, but this is a whole different animal.
That's not nice. I don't like it. I
If
feel
I
violated.
want to be recorded, I'll be on social fucking media. You know how many people tell me, "Oh, do social media, click on this, do this." No, I don't want to be out there.
Wait a minute now. You sounded like Point. Maybe you're a Point. Say
And it's like, yo, if I don't want to do it, then just come on. The fuck? But yeah.
Hey man, I agree with that.
In that account on YouTube.
I agree with that, but I also think that if
Really talking?
Oh my God.
damn D, I think I started talking before you, but go ahead.
No, Patty was talking way before he started.
What's his name? What's that guy's name that was just speaking?
Diesel.
Diesel, your phone is really loud. But go, Patty.
This John Kitover account that's on YouTube, I do not approve of him recording me nor streaming my voice. This is not cool.
It's not cool at all. I do not give you the authority, authorization, none of it. Zero zilch. To record me, by no means necessary. And in my state, you have to let me know that you are recording, and I have to consent to that, and I don't. You are violating me, sir. And I feel abused and taken advantage of.
Aw.
And I will deal with this. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
File a lawsuit.
You're gonna have to hire a lawyer, because this is crazy.
Not a lawyer.
This is Me Too on a different level. But, I don't know. This is crazy.
I can't believe they didn't address it in the meeting, because I know they got.
They addressed it. I just told you what they said.
Oh, yeah, they said that you could block them or you could go in a private room.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's all they said. What did they say first?
Let me get the recording first so you can hear.
Yeah, they just addressed Anonymous. They didn't address the recording, the third-party recording. That was not addressed.
Right, because I know we're not the only ones that complained about it. If he was in Ion's room, I know Ion blasted him.
That's why they turned the chat off.
They claimed it was technical difficulties with the chat. That was bullshit. It was a lot of messages speaking on that.
Yep. And people was in the chat.
And I sent that mother Flower the live YouTube that was going on right now. And I sent him another YouTube of showing all his devices on his fucking table and all the bullshit he has on his fucking house. So, fucking, they ain't getting no more $5 from me. I'm done. I'm on strike. I'm protesting. I'm protesting.
No, and since they saw the video you sent with all the phones, and they were adding up the dollars. That's the problem.
Ridiculous. And then this motherfucker is streaming that shit on Instagram too.
Yeah, he could be monetizing this problem.
Oh, he is streaming it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean Instagram, I'm sorry.
This has been going on, well, for 3 years. With this guy. 3 years.
This is weird.
You know, and we know his address. We know everything. But we aren't able to get him to shut down yet.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I gotta call the Chicago PD. I need to be somebody on that side.
Can I laugh about Donald saying he wants to see what he can do about deporting Elon? Because I just want to laugh for just 1 second.
He should put his wife and son right behind that. Just saying.
Just take John kick ass over there, kick more, take over. If we could take care with Elon, yeah, ship his ass. I don't give a fuck where you ship him at. The same way they ain't worrying about where they shipping nobody out. Take them somewhere.
To the Gator Gulag or the Alcatraz, what do they call it? Alligator.
Oh yeah, I seen the Gator one today. Yeah.
Yeah, let them become the ambassadors.
Yeah. That's funny though, because Elon does have government contracts, and isn't a lot of his wealth dependent on those contracts? I never thought I would see the day that I would cheer for Trump to achieve something so magnificent. I hate this timeline.
I'm glad he lost. That's what somebody said, that he lost anyway.
Wait, is the serial recorder and whatever the hell this man doing was running for a political office?
Yeah.
What in the hell is going on?
Yeah, I think JD probably knows him. Not knows him like that, but he probably heard. Okay.
Now, we have our other politician, would-be politician, what's his name, the Christian on here. Now we got this.
The wife beater.
Yeah, we got the wife that did this one. He look like he ain't got nobody living with him. Just him and his cameras.
We think he lives with his mom.
Ain't nobody living.
Cats.
He's got lots of cats in the basement.
Meow, 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 meow. Child. I'm so over this mother freaker. Then he want a cat. He's holding on to the book of law. Look at this. Go get some pussy, for real. For real. That's what you need to go do. Get off the clubhouse.
So you know what? I'm reading this.
Oh, he got an Israel flag in the back too.
Clubhouse prohibits recordings of sharing room audio without explicit consent from all speakers. Violators risk having their accounts suspended or banned. U.S. recording laws. 38 states and D.C. Only one party's consent is needed if you're speaking and recording yourself. Where's he at? Okay. In 12 states, he's actually in Illinois. All party consent is required to legally record conversation.
Where is Rohan when we need him? Any other time he just pop in.
This is largely about emojis, as you may have noticed, and previously you could press on your own face and react and show the emotion you were feeling through an emoji. We changed that up so that Speaker Reacts allow you to react to a specific speaker.
Wow, there's a lot. I don't know how Adam's going to sleep in July, but that's another story. Adam, so since you're here, is there anything we might want to tease that's coming up? Can we leave everyone with a little crumb of excitement, maybe something you want to leave?
So we can actually talk about
30 days.
Wait, not 12
switch.
And then he got the fucking nerves to have Obama and Michelle Obama on
It's
kids.
saying that so with Illinois, because this is a clubhouse room, if someone records or streams your voice from a clubhouse room without your consent, it can be considered a criminal offense under the state wiretapping and eavesdropping laws. Call local law enforcement, explain that the conversation that was recorded, streamed without permission, and file a police report. They may refer your case to the appropriate cyber and privacy crimes unit. Yeah, I'm calling the police on this one. Go ahead, I'm sorry, lady.
No worries.
Shit, I got time to litigate. Fucking.
Litigate?
It says, collect screenshots, video clips. I already got screenshots, I got video clips. Username, timestamps, got that too. It says, report the platforms to Clubhouse and YouTube. File the abuse reports for privacy violation and harassment. Then let local law enforcement, let them know if this breaks statewide eavesdropping laws, which it does in Illinois, and ask to speak to an officer who handles cyber crimes and digital harassment.
he's been harassing us, as well as other. We have told you to leave, and you don't get it.
Look at the Telegram. I put a bunch of photos there, including Mom Dukes, just in case she answers the door.
Mom.
Yep, that's his mother. Just in case she answers. Tell him I think he's a mama's boy. I think he lives with the mom. And he got his uniform there. You don't see him?
I've been told he lives with his mom.
Yeah. That's why that's important. Just in case she's like, no, my boy moved a long time ago. My boy. Nope. Like, he lives in there with her.
My boy would never do this. Just be on his phone. Not my Johnny.
I'm Johnny.
So not John. You can say public app. I'm looking at the how we're supposed to report. In Illinois, regardless of whether this is because Clubhouse bans unauthorized recording or broadcast, it breaks their terms of service. It says legally streaming someone else's voice without permission violates the state's wiretapping privacy laws if people said they didn't consent. That's why it's like we've said we do not consent to him streaming nor recording us at all.
I don't want to be recorded, no. Not without my permission, no.
We don't want to have to bang.
And the thing is, it's like, okay, you got 12,000 other places to go. Go be there. Why are you here? Who sent you? Like, what's going on?
Nobody
I
said
don't
that.
understand.
I just go to the dumbest rooms. You're one of the dumbest rooms. I like the dumb
I'm
rooms.
reading it. It's not Clubhouse that Clubhouse would be able to take action, but we could take action ourselves. So I don't know why you think we couldn't. YouTube allows you to take the action. Have you ever reported someone? Because I just did it a couple days ago.
Who are you talking to? Somebody in the chat?
Salon. Yeah. Salon, I don't have to do your shit. Read the same way I read. And we made a fucking report. And if you read YouTube's guidelines, when you make the fucking report, they ask you what timestamp it is.
What do you mean why she upset? Because we tired of fucking reporting and telling this motherfucker to get the fuck out of here, bro. You know, that's why your ass is in the goo right now. That's why you in the goo right now, because your ass don't want to be recorded. Because you said that the other day. The fuck?
Sorry, y'all. I've been frustrated.
I'm frustrated with
Stupid ass people. Like, if you fucking ever made a fucking YouTube report, you see what they have the fucking. I'll get pissed off.
Take a breath. It's long, it's hard when we're fighting the fight and you're in there just complaining about us. It's just wrong. It's hard.
Leave too long, because I'm about to block you and be pissed off and kick you the fuck out.
She said, I'm in law school, she said.
You a fucking bitch. You in law school at UC, ho.
Don't put
I'm reading what they said for each individual state.
Stay in school and study.
Take me away.
Tired of this shit, man. I think I'm getting frustrated. Every day is just more.
I agree.
Either come on up and engage in discourse or don't. But don't go up on us in the chat. That's just wrong.
She can leave. And she can go study. That's what she needs to do.
People do webinars. And people do
You know,
like this is not, this regime, right? It's not the time to be carefree. All I know is, oh my God, I'm in a boat. I'm in a boat. Oh, Donald.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but early in the chat at the town hall, somebody said that they wanted to talk to Paul about the T's and C's.
About the what?
The terms and conditions. About the terms of service. And I don't know if they addressed it because I had to leave the room, but someone put that in there early in the chat.
You didn't address it. I'm listening, and I'm about 17 minutes in. This is just weird.
What we want to do is rearranging the style of rooms. You know how when you go to a city, when you go out into a city, and you enter a facility,
You're killing me.
somebody rushes to, this is how he is, rushes to greet you. It's like, hey man, so great to see you. Hey, there's somebody here that I want to introduce you to. That's the kind of feel that I want for Clubhouse. Wouldn't that be cool?
Is there a vomit emoji?
Me up right now, yo. Damn.
That was crazy. I did too, hey shit. I had to look at people who were back to the phone.
What the fuck is going on?
He's the co-founder. Oh, that was crazy. Oh my God. He has always been that goofy. Like, we people just like stage and protest.
He's just theatrics. I like his theatrics.
He'd be like, hey everybody, so great to see everyone. So what we were thinking about is, we want Clubhouse to be friendly, I mean, people are interacting, but we want to make it easier, smoother, more fun. And people be like, I don't feel safe. That's what the fuck I want to talk about. Yeah, that sounds like an orgy. Have you ever addressed any of the people that have gotten hurt on this app in the town halls? Yeah. Ever once? Okay. Absolutely. I mean, there's no trying to kill on this app.
No,
I know that's what happened right there.
One second. Hey, I was thinking maybe we should do like a poll, since they like polls. And what should it be? 1, get rid of anonymous. 2, allow only for 5 minutes and then they're out. Or allow the head of top left to have the ability to remove anonymous. What you think?
Yeah, but then Clubhouse will make money.
What you mean?
There he is. Scott, they're going crazy. For an hour, they've been talking about me.
Yeah, you pay to be anonymous. We just want people to feel like they can be.
I'm gonna take this. I swear, I'm gonna take this barbell and I'm gonna hit you right at your head.
Scott, you want to join the live stream?
I'm gonna take this barbell and I'm gonna crack you on. You hear me?
Clubhouse should pay. They should allow. Clubhouse should allow top left to be able to pay to know who's in your room, no matter what.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, that could be a room feature.
Yep.
Patty, do you need his phone number so that you could give it to the police officer? Because he has multiple times.
Yeah.
You first name you heard of?
For real.
I wanna play with the blocks again.
It's precious.
Come on, sis, let's play the blocks.
Tell her it's 9 o'clock.
On the profile, he has his phone number.
Let's get 9 o'clock radio. Mind your business.
It's 8:24. It's 8:24, mother freaker. It's the summertime. And
You need to worry about your own kids. Thank you. Oh, you need to worry about your baby because you ain't got no big kids. Okay.
Even, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I'm over those stages. My little one is 5 years old. My oldest is 24. Been there, done that. Have fun.
Wait a minute, are you breastfeeding? Is your wife breastfeeding?
No breastfeeding, just bottle.
Oh, put some fluoride in the water.
Fluoride?
That's what I said.
What?
You could buy fluoride water.
Mm-hmm.
They sell it at any grocery store.
Just call them up.
That's fluoride, not fluoride.
Ain't nobody said fluoride.
I just said that to mess with you first, lady.
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't
I didn't say that. I said that. Patty said it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even looking at my screen.
Oh yeah, Keisha. You said YouTube had the staff to take this stuff seriously. Clubhouse doesn't invest in trust and safety. That's true. Even when they started, they didn't. Oh God, I have to stop laughing at like diabolical things. But Clubhouse didn't even have a trust and safety committee when they first started. People had to complain, and then they started the trust and safety committee. And I mean, but you know, I just want everybody to feel.
Half of them was crooked.
I know.
They were sending people in the back channels like, hey, this girl reported you. Like, what? We not that cool for you to be telling your job business. Just giving you a heads up. Like, what is going on? That shit was weird.
That's how Gabe became like, he got real close to, trust and safety, and he would be like, I'll be reporting you. I hear your anti-Semitism, and you just so you know you're reported. And I'm gonna, he was organizing people. Now I did organize a block party. Johnny's knows she was a part of it. Sunny, but it wasn't with trust and safety. We just said like, we would be like basically the swarm of bees reporting people. Because they was real violent on this app. Like, I'm like, y'all, I mean, I don't understand why you think you can just do anything to
Yeah, but
anybody. Like,
some of the most egregious people was cool with the damn sex.
That's true too.
Some of the people that was the biggest violators of safety on here was freaking reporting people for no reason, talking about, oh, you about to piss me off, I'm just gonna talk to my friend. And they would disappear off the app within 30 seconds.
It's true. That's true.
You need to safety
That's why I
from your
changed my
safety.
political affiliation. That's why I changed my political affiliations. Went down to Florida.
Oh yes, I told you that he has a. Oh Lord, we're going for. I was telling you that he's such a creep that he has a photo of Obama, Michelle, and their kids. He's a creep.
And more like, and that's he's important, but also just the fact that our stuff is out there. Like this is, AI. You can pick up people's voices and like we ain't got time for that. Like we're already in a repressive regime. And I'm sure he's not the only person, doing stuff like that,
No, I'm the only one doing this. No one is doing this, I can assure you. And yet, I've yet to meet anyone who can do what I do.
I should have went and crashed that after party.
But this is
Talking about, I'll see y'all soon, but y'all need to listen to me first. We're going to the after party. The after party now. Frankers.
Yeah, actually, I am genuinely annoyed by Paul and the team because they're like, so today, on Thursday, we're going to have a special guest. You guys were so excited because Snoop Dogg is going to be joining us.
Oh
It's
boy.
fantastic.
Snoop Dogg joining up. He owns a percentage of fan base.
What now?
Okay, although, well, I mean, but that, no. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Although fan base was around, but this was years. But I was just like, y'all are so. I can't stand Silicon Valley. Like, this is just what y'all do. Like, you have no problem. Like, I think like less than 1 or 2% of Black founders ever get funded in Silicon Valley. Then when you look at the staff, I mean, it's like less than 5%. But at every single tech conference, you gonna find you a Black rapper. Like, they're full of shit. I ain't trying to be your soundtrack.
You found a Black rapper at every time tech conference.
What's
going on?
Oh no.
Like tech lunch, like all of those like techie festivals, and
Don't do that, Dr. Guys. Keep that a secret, girl.
It's true. It is true, child. It is true. That's why people be mad. They like, oh, okay, so you want me to just come and just make you feel better, but make you feel like you could be powerful, and have confidence. But I can't, build up my own app. That's part of the reason why we were a little skeptical. I mean, he kind of got mad, but he didn't need to get mad. But he got over it. But when MC Hammer started getting into tech, we were just like, okay, MC Hammer, like, are you just performing for these people, or are you a founder? Are you a tech? But he said he was a co-founder, so we were like, okay, that's fine.
I found Trent in PhD room
to quit
again.
First Lady, I sent you a message. Check it. I just popped into the room and you were explaining to somebody. I won't go down that path, but you were in the room and there's apparently like some heated beef. But I sent you a message in the back channel. And just wanted to make sure you were alright.
Who is that?
GA. She just didn't answer.
All right, GA. I mean, what's going on? You talking about me, First Lady?
Yeah, I'm talking about you. I saw you.
Sometimes you be getting me wrong, but I don't have no messages from you. So that's, you sure you sent me something?
I'm almost positive. I don't send many messages, but you popped in the room because I popped in another room and they were talking about First Lady this and mail this and blah 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 blah. I said, wait, what is going on? So I popped in the room.
There's no mail in my mailbox.
Okay, well maybe I sent it.
Maybe he's in the message request because there's people that I don't know how.
No, he's my friend.
Yeah, we're friends.
I play my message.
Yeah, but I'm friends with some people too, and for some reason they're in my message request.
I'll send it again, First Lady. I just wanted to make sure you're alright.
I mean, I didn't know I got no beef with nobody.
He's probably talking about the house from the other day. You remember?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? The one that I was turning up? You forgot?
Is that what he's talking about?
He may be talking about that one.
I doubt it. Like, that was no beef.
He was probably in the group. He was probably in the group squad.
No, he's saying it as if something just happened today.
No, not today, First Lady. It wasn't today.
Oh, what was
It wasn't today. It was several days ago.
Yeah, it was that long.
Yeah.
What happened?
And I went to go find that room, and you came on stage with that gentleman, and it just felt like you were defending yourself. And I was like, I don't even know what she said. You just had a lot to say about politically correct. I was just making sure you were okay because it felt like you were defending.
No, I was defending politically correct.
not myself. I wasn't even in here to defend myself because I wasn't here. I wasn't part of the conversation. And it was more about that person felt like they were disrespected because there was a conversation that was had about him when he wasn't even here. Somebody pinged him into the space. So, you know, but from what I hear, things are good. All things are copacetic.
Good. Because I thought I sent you a message, and I sent that individual. I said, hey, I know a lot of people in that room, and whatever you thinking, whatever you're saying is not the case.
Oh, yeah, you sent that message to me.
Oh, my. With that.
I'm just
problems.
No, you didn't.
Sure.
That's how you been get caught. I'm just saying.
See, there you go.
You start the message to the wrong woman.
Yo, I've been there, done that.
Take your bad.
Wait a minute, you really
It was late. He was probably tired.
before Haitian? I see you sent the wrong person a message before.
Yeah.
I've never.
I've definitely done that before.
I'm dancing
But
with
it
an
wasn't like a
iron
relationship
soldier.
Finish.
I was gonna go work on the iron dome later tonight. I've got a bunch of tools.
God, diggity dog.
I'm done.
What you mean that ain't like no relationship?
Oh yeah, you worse than me. You're worse than me, bro. Mine was friends.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, man. I'm friends too. I'm friends, but you know.
No, but it was the same gender, not the opposite gender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what happened that night, Haitian.
Oh yeah. Big one.
Yeah, so I had sent a screenshot of a conversation to somebody else to talk about the person. Person was like, why you send me a screenshot about?
Oh my God, I did that, First Lady.
I'm not doing.
I'm done for free.
Yeah, I've done that before. She thought I had put the caption with the screenshot.
That's what she did. Sorry about that.
She is trying to make me feel old.
Look at Lonzo down there in the goo, that anti-Semitic rat-faced pubic hair wearing chin ugly fucking. Look at his cheeks, they're whiter than white. How do you skate your white cheeks so white, Lonzo? Free Lonzo from his future prison incarceration. Free Lonzo!
But it's believable.
Free the future Lonzo from
I
prison.
still get my children's birthdays mixed
Free
up.
Lonzo from his future prison sentence.
Alright, so y'all wanna do the test again?
Oh yeah.
What test? Oh, well, we don't have all the people in here that need to take the test. Oh, Anthony was here last night. I said, yo, you need to take this test. Because he was like, I'm conservative, you know? I said, come back for the test.
That wasn't me.
Are you guys talking about the test for political where you man?
I didn't start talking to you talking.
Okay, I identify as a woman. Are you talking about the test?
Yes, I already answered your question. Why do you ask it again?
I didn't hear you.
You heard me clearly. Dr. Goddess is about to speak, but I just want to say that my passport came in 15 days. Go ahead, Dr. Goddess.
I love her. That's serious. Scholarship looks like half of the country.
You smacked your lips before you said it.
Literally, I went on the 16th, and that thing was here yesterday.
How did you get a passport?
So you paid the extra fee?
She had to.
Yeah, but that even said that it was going to take at least 3 to 4. Like they said said it was going to take 4 to 6 weeks with the expedited. It was done in less than 2 weeks. Huh?
Yeah, you can get it if you got a ticket. You can get it right away. Like that happened to me one time. I had to get mine right away.
Trump's like, we gotta get you out of this.
But 16 days is cool too.
No, that was super fast. That was super fast.
So where you going for, buddy? What the fuck you trying to go to?
Y'all won't believe where I want to go. Because y'all won't like that.
Ghana.
No.
Liberia.
That's not the door.
Not El Salvador. You want to go see Abrego Garcia? You want to see if they treated him right?
No, I don't see that.
Is that a white
I heard there's an update on that. Have you seen that update?
Yeah, I told you about it.
He's back in the States.
It's the olive country.
Olive, like,
I'm not telling y'all because I already know y'all gonna say something stupid. So.
She want to go to Thailand.
Maybe. I think it would be better if you tell us, because maybe it's not a good idea. She didn't say yellow.
you said olive. What the hell is olive? Like green or black?
I said green. I said green. Your spirit.
It's definitely not Greece, man. It's not Greece.
Israel.
What's the place known for?
Only thing
You getting close, money.
Dubai? She going to Dubai? Yeah, she going to Dubai.
That's the reason why I said I'm not telling y'all.
Why are you out?
You going in the summer?
No, yeah.
Listen to Patty. No, don't me. Don't go. Matter of fact, wait a minute, school. See, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I'm not telling y'all nothing. I ain't telling y'all nothing. But school, we keep going. School, you were supposed to like cash at me like $500 or something. I forgot. Yeah, you don't remember? It was something like that. I remember. I remember that. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. Say what now? What you say?
I was asking G if it
Yes, I ain't got no money.
What's going on? You the one that you was talking about. I remember. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. You made a lot of money off of. It wasn't the election, but it was something about the stocks.
Oh no, that's crypto.
Crypto.
I lost it already.
Oh, you dumb. You know why you lost it? Because God told you to give me a percentage off of it, and you didn't. That's why you lost it.
Donald Trump said some funny shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's your phone. I'm telling you, all you MAGA voters need to move into your own fucking part of the country.
To their own dome.
I'm already in West Virginia, wealthy women.
Yeah, that's pretty much back in country.
You guys, we need to embark on a plan to turn Elon our way. He's so bad.
No, I don't want Elon.
He's not trustworthy. He's not trustworthy.
You know what? It's true.
He's going for the streets.
He is. But I mean,
Thank you.
He's going for what? What's he going to use us?
Because well, that's true, but he's mad. He wants to start and
There's someone.
he's so mad. I feel like we could get him to admit what he did to rig the election. So mad at Trump, and then we could like.
What does that matter? Do you really think these people that are not supporters are going to change now? I mean,
well, no, because he did it. So what I wanted to do is to affect the midterm elections, because he was sure enough going to do the same thing.
You think he's gonna do that already?
Well, he's mad. He doesn't want the same people to win now. That's what I'm saying.
okay, but what I'm saying is, he pulled his stunt. Point been looking for the daggone email. Point said all day yesterday that that bill is dead and stinking, and it's in the trash, it's in the toilet, all of the above, based off what Musk did. And guess what? None of the above. None.
Quake. Have y'all seen Quake?
Yeah, Dr. Ferguson, I was in that room. We started holding his own rooms. Ain't that about a biscuit?
And Oreo.
Rhino.
And there's only like a few people in the room, but it all says Clubhouse is over.
These veterans served to uphold the Constitution, which you really have no interest in. Fuck.
You need like 10 pronouns.
When do you stop spending in
Well,
borrowing
that's
for
because
reserve
so
increasing income and
points will
property?
tell
When's
you
enough enough?
their
Veterans
pronouns
not
are
supporting the
he,
administrator
them,
of Rhino.
My pronouns is
what?
my pronouns is King Me.
Y'all wanna hear something real quick? Y'all wanna hear something real quick? Hold on. This is Rosalind. She crashing out. Damn, why did it go? Hold on. I'm gonna go on mute. Hold on. I don't know what happened. The feed is not coming through.
Bachelor.
The feed isn't coming through. She must have looked it up.
And right now they're being quiet, but they have been supportive of this shit all this time. And because you're smart and you have a loud voice, they're being quiet. When I
Everybody in the news supports Maddie.
I don't come here because these people are crazy bigots and they're not American in this room. And they want to see America crumble. And they support America going down. They truly do. This is just crazy. And Grant does. And all the other fucking man is here do. And they want America to fall. And how only people talk because you're smart. And thank you for coming here. Let me just tell you this much. I hear you. I see what you're saying, and I feel the exact same amount of passion. You guys, if you haven't heard earlier, I'm from Philadelphia. I am a strict originalist constitutionalist. I take the American experience.
All right, that's it. I just wanted you to hear her crashing out.
You said the drink originalist, what?
Mind you, she's not even crashing on this app. She crashing on Chatter. They streaming it to this
I
level.
was just there the other day. My late wife is buried in Washington Crossing National Cemetery. That's where I will end up. The place of America's greatest and military victory. I take this shit very seriously. And if some of you wonder, man, black people get really passionate about this. And they're pushing this conversation. What's the matter with them? We pay for this shit. We paid for it in blood. We didn't get paid anything other than our mere survival. And we built the Capitol. We built the White House. We built the city of Washington, D.C. We helped forge all the structures. George Washington's personal assistant was a black servant that lived with him the entire war. Soldier that he would always speak to.
I don't know what's wrong with their feed. It went back down.
He is the person that gives them a permission slip to say what they want. They want it as be as rude and as horrible as possible and call that free speech. And let me tell you something. I said this to, there was a guy, a neo-Nazi that got injured during Charlottesville. He was a blogger. His name will come to me. Pink Alaska. And he interviewed.
All right, y'all done listening to this fool? No, it's another room streaming. I just noticed Rosalind's voice. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Grant can't be in there tonight because she wouldn't have been able to crash out without him.
Yeah, she even mentioned Grant's name. You didn't hear that?
Yeah, he obviously can't be in there, and Cindy can't be in there either because they wouldn't have even left. They wouldn't let anybody talk that long, and they not jump in and call them all kind of names.
Cindy's not don't exaggerate Cindy. It's actually Cindy get on my damn nerves too. But she wouldn't let her keep going. Now Grant on the other hand.
Grant Cardone. You know, yeah, Patty, you know Grant wouldn't have let her.
you notice like he'll drop him?
I did notice that.
He'll drop him or kick him out the room when he does too much. And then he'll be like, oh, like he gets upset about it. Grant gets upset about that. But I think Jonathan's kind of getting frustrated with the MAGA. He's been like dropping their ass and kicking them out the room.
The secret police, right? Come on, camera, so you can see. If any of you believe we should run a secret police, say that that's a good thing, that we should run a KGB-style secret organization where you don't know their face, you don't know their badge number, and that they can secretly run up on you and throw you into a van, turn your American card in, you're a communist. Right? Not you liberals are communist way of doing it. No, you are straight up authoritarian who believes that secret police will work for you against your enemies. It's something that's a good thing. Because guess what? You could be thrown into that van too. And this is why we fought a civil war. You just can't run out there and do what you need to hurt other people without consequences.
All right. Remember the night that they did the thing with TC and what's his name? I said he might not show up because of 8:30. And then the day before I told you he got kicked out. He got kicked out. They told him don't come back. Yeah, he got kicked out. I mean, but you know he slid his ass back on in and they let him back in. You listened to him get kicked out and they told him don't come? Yeah, they kicked him out. Like, kicked him out and he keep trying to come back. And I guess with chatter, you can kick someone out and then they can come back later. But he's been coming back and they'll kick him out.
I know exactly who this guy is. If you have heard of a person named Malcolm Nance, he's a person who wrote the book The Plot to Betray America. He also has a podcast. His voice, cadence, and the way he talks, slightly yelling, is very particular. I put a link in the chat, but if you just type in his name and type in like podcast or YouTube videos, you'll see he's got a lot of stuff. He's like former CIA or something like that. He's written
Ex-Navy officer. He's an ex-Navy officer.
Yeah. Yes, Malcolm Nance. He's known.
He volunteered to go fight in Ukraine when the war first broke out. Black guy volunteered to go fight in Ukraine. He used to be a contributor on MSNBC. I think his wife passed away. He's very pro-Israel, but he's not a MAGA. He didn't like what they did with Iran, but he's like ex-military. So, you may know that guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He has some very compelling arguments, and he's no nonsense practical guy. However, he is like he's probably the most I would consider. This is my personal opinion. The most sourced and referenced and like I don't want to say rational conspiracy theorist, but he's definitely highly educated, and I would peruse. It sounds crazy, but like when you hear him talk in the little chats and you hear all the stuff, I would really love for you, Patty, to hear because your vernacular definitely you would hear it and you would understand it better than anybody else, especially when it comes to those like certain classes that they take and they teach you certain things about war and the mentality of war. He's definitely on that level.
Is he in Jonathan's room a lot?
Say what?
Is he in Jonathan's room?
No,
Often.
I have never heard him. I've never heard him inside of a clubhouse room. Never. So that's why when I heard his voice, I was like,
chatter.
Oh, I think so, possibly.
So there's this guy that's ex-military that comes to the room and he'll talk every now and then, and I used to like listen to him, and I'd say certain things like, "What are you talking about?" And then like bring it up, and then he'll be like, yeah, she's right, and then he'll change it, and I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? I know he was in the military, and I know he was an officer, but he tries to speak on all the branches, and I don't think he really understands Army. I don't know. There is something that we in there, huh? What'd you say?
And listen with a grain of salt. There's that guy, Scott Ritter. You know, he was the one who said there was no weapons of mass destruction. And then they got him on kick porn. Yeah, not kick porn. Not kick porn. Philosopher Minor. That's what they got him on. He is heavy pull washer. I'm not gonna say anti-racial. Some things he says is okay, and some things he's not. I don't listen to anybody of those people and let them shape my view 100%. You gotta, you know, take some with a grain of salt, and then some they're very smart with what they're saying, some things, and then some things you're like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Trump is now threatening to deport Elon, maybe, or sick dodge on him, or whatever. And then we have Alligator, Alcatraz open. We have 3,000 cots waiting.
Today, I'm proud to announce the outcome.
Seniors have been forced to pay for the nose.
Got everybody quiet.
Seniors have been.
Oh, you there?
Commercial break.
Commercial break, right on. Yeah,
whoever that lady was in that other room speaking, that was something, man. That was wow.
It's 10 o'clock, First Lady. Come off the mic. They're about to be like, I want to sleep. You guys clocked in at 3:30. You guys shouldn't be sleeping already.
Out at 8 o'clock. Better not be.
I always say that all the time. You find yourself, you keep yawning, your eyes are shutting on it, so like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, girl. Bones be cracking and shit.
My hip is hurt. I told my husband that today. I said, I don't know, but I got this pain right here in my hip.
Then I told my mom the other day, I said, I think I'm having menopause. I be having heat flashes. She was like, I hope not. She's like, if you're going through menopause, you need to go to the hospital. Shit. I be having heat flashes, nigga.
So I know, I'll be having heat flashes too. My husband look at me like I'm crazy because one minute I'm like, hi, put the air conditioner on. I need it to be cold in here. I need it to be cold in here. And then the next minute I'm like, oh, it's freezing. He's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, it's hot. You don't understand.
It's menopause coming early. Girl, one day I Googled, menopause, like, what age can you get menopause and you're going to get 30?
I don't even think we can go by, because they say you should ask your mom when she went, when she started premenopause and the menopause. But I'm not even going to go by their numbers, because times is different. You know how, girls are getting their periods earlier, so I feel like we can't even go by, when it comes to period or menopause, we can't even go by the numbers from back in the days. So, I don't know. That's why you see Jackie on Basketball Wives always with a fan in her face. I'm like, yo, she always got her fan. I didn't even watch Basketball Wives.
Jackie?
Yeah.
How did I know who you was talking about? I just got that.
Because I mentioned a fan.
She got to talk about Jackie or that girl. Atlanta Housewives.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, menopause sounds horrible. She said the lady walked around with a fan. Oh.
She be putting the fan in her boobs or in her face.
That's because she drank alcohol.
But the housewife chick, isn't she younger than Jackie?
I would assume that she is. I'm not sure.
See, she already got her fan. Told you.
But she walks around with a fan. That's bad. I've never seen that before. Is that
Jackie drinks all day. I mean, I don't even know if she's still going through menopause. I think she's just an alcoholic. And she be drunk and high all day and day. She showed her ass again yesterday.
Oh, but I didn't watch it.
That was good. It's good stuff.
Depending on the alcohol you drink, you'll feel like a hot heater. Yeah, it depends on what you drink. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why, man, look here. Okay, it makes you feel really hot depending on whatever alcohol you drink. So don't be drinking no alcohol when it's 101 degrees outside, because that is a death sentence. Not out here. Not when it's that hot. You will be boiling. Ain't no fan gonna save you out here. Sorry. It not.
Oh no, you want to see my picture that I was born in New York? me. Y'all tried to say that I wasn't born in New York.
I didn't say that. Don't play with me. Even though you left when you was young, that New York is still in you, okay? I'm just saying. That's what's up. Yeah. It's almost dark. A little bit more. Almost dark. You can't put these kids to sleep when it's still light outside. They're like, it's not nighttime. It's nighttime.
I would be the same.
Yeah, real. They like, what's going on? What you mean we gotta go to bed now? It's easier on the, when it's cold. Because it gets dark earlier, so it's like, they can't try to tell me that. I'll be like, nope, that's it, 8:30, go to bed.
I hope they don't have it. They don't do daylight savings like that and shit. Who's done with that?
Who's gonna remove that Trump? Scotty, where you been? Get up here. You must have had a wild time yesterday. Well, hold on. Not even. You had a wild time on Sunday. I'm telling you, did that hangover last from Sunday to Tuesday?
No, he just been other places.
Oh, so you've been cheating on us, Mr. Plus. No.
Not really.
These boys ain't loyal.
Not a W.
I've been outside, messing around. I've been cheating on us.
But he was over here twerking at Pride. It's crazy. I seen you.
Yeah, this shit was nuts.
I seen you on the news.
Right, and then capping off the night with the shooting. You know, Scott, you get stopped during Pride. Amazing. Well, I put up some good content.
Yeah.
Should I send over like some revital IVs or anything? Something
No, I'm good. I worked all day anyway. I'm beat. But shit, that shit's tiring.
So that's what I said. I'd say some vitamin B or go ahead, Patty. He had lots of fun.
He's like, oh yeah, anyway, shooting.
He still got that plus though.
I think it falls off tomorrow, maybe. I gotta check.
Back to Scotty Baker.
Town hall today. We went to town hall today.
Oh, what was
we're not going to spend $5 if they can't adhere to our demands.
Oh, were people protesting at the town hall? I like that.
No.
Trying, but they shut off the chat on us.
Oh, they tried.
Scotty Plus.
Good job. Good job, everybody.
Hi, Al.
Hi, you guys.
Bye.
We do have one idea. We have one strategy.
All right. Well, if you give the strategy now, the person will know because the person is here.
Ah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to put it in code or something.
Yeah, you can just send it to one of our back channels.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Did you ever come back with anything on the final thing on duty?
No.
They sent them home.
Yeah. So tomorrow they'll be focused on count one. Yeah, count one.
Alright.
So they'll be there at 9 in the morning.
How was Pride, Scotty Club?
Oof. What a wild. I got to see our governor. I got to see Mayor Adams.
They were booing me, Adams. I seen that.
Yeah. No Chuck Schumer this year. It's probably too hot. He doesn't care. But he usually shows up. And then, who else? You know, Letitia James. Zoran marched, but he apparently didn't make it all the way.
And he was with Letitia. I seen on the videos I seen.
Yeah, he was, but not when he got down to our neighborhood. I think he, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I seen him dancing to Bad Bunny. Definitely seen that. I was like, okay.
So much media that you know they had a show to be on right then. I mean, he's been on constantly.
Yeah, he should have done the whole thing though. You know, Tish James did, Governor Kathy, even Eric Adams. I'm just saying.
You know, the end is the party, so you gotta stay to the end.
It's the end. You know,
Yeah, there's nothing like when they make that turn.
And I didn't realize that they have a parade the night, Saturday night they had a parade too, and then Sunday again.
They had, they had a drag march, which goes from the East Village, all the way west, and that was a lot of fun too, to witness.
Yeah, that's
good times here in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was but you know, ending in a shooting, that was the first time I've experienced that.
I saw that last night, and I was gonna text you because I saw it on Christopher Street.
People were texting me from like Europe, like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But there was a shooting at like 10 p.m. and the amount of police and helicopters around here was crazy. But I'm sitting on my stoop smoking a joint, and I'm seeing this guy, and the streets are all blocked off down here, so I'm seeing this guy running quick. And I'm like, oh, what's he running from? Oh, there must have been a fight or something down there. Anyway, he's running, and then 2 seconds later, I see like, I don't know, 3 dozen cops running after him, huffing and puffing. And then the cops are coming up to me, and I'm just like watching this smoking a joint, like, what the fuck's going on? And then the cop come up to me, he's like, you know, did you see anybody, ditch a gun or toss a gun out over here? I'm like, no, I'm not involved. And then I went inside. Minding my own.
I could tell it was really close to you. And it was crazy, like a girl got, like in the middle of it, got killed, right? I don't think
she got shot in the head. I don't know if they're gonna kill those.
She's in critical condition.
That's really sad. She was 16, right?
Yeah, and that's the same thing my husband said. He says, I did Pride for 15 years, and there's never been an incident. So he was shocked in regards to that.
A lot of young people out. That's what I did notice. I was like, where are all these people coming from? Yeah, it was crazy.
But I mean, the lady, she was shot at an event. You said what type of an event? What did you say?
Well, it was after the parade ended, right, Patty?
Yeah, it was like 4 hours after but people were just,
oh wow.
You know, there's like, I don't even know how many, tens of thousands after the parade, just hanging out in the neighborhood, like, you know, people got their coolers, you know, they're sitting just on the street and drinking, smoking weed and all that shit. And that's all good, but, you know, inevitably something's gonna pop off. Yeah.
It was after that event, the violence. I mean, everything that they put together out here was pretty safe. I mean, they had the police, they had I don't know if it was a news helicopter, but they try to have some kind of helicopter in the air at all times. So they do try to do the best they can to try to keep everything safe, regardless of whatever event it is. You know, but it's really concerning that kind of stuff's going on. But it's after the event, so hopefully it don't paint a light on whatever the event was. That's not, you know, that wasn't a part of it. So hopefully they put that out there on the news and hey, that had nothing to do with our event. Absolutely not. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We have over 1 million people out there. So for something to happen, you know, the chances of something happening is probably really big when we have over 1 million people out there. So.
1 million people?
Yeah, a million people. This is like our Mardi Gras. It's 1 million people. They had like, it said, I was looking at the numbers, they had 60 floats and 75,000 marchers. Just in the
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I think it's as big as Macy's. I don't know. It's one of the top 2, I think.
Yes.
The biggest parades.
Mm-hmm.
Mel knows.
Yes. And the last one we did was the 50 years.
Oh, that shit was fucking
That one was. Oh, it was lit. We had so much fun. And let me tell you, that sun was beaming on my head, but I had fun.
Oh my God. I was so dehydrated. I was drinking gallons and gallons of water. Never had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it was. And me neither. I never went to the bathroom to the end.
Wow.
So literally, because you know when we get on Christopher, when we hit to the end, we jump off and we start pulling off the wires and the speakers and everything. And I didn't have to pee.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It was 90 and sunny, you know. I mean, it was, you know, it was hot, but we had a great time. It was really wonderful.
Glad it was a safe way overall.
Well, I didn't hear you. You said something?
I'm sorry. Glad it was safe. Glad it was a successful event.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's usually pretty great. I mean, something does pop up, but I've never seen like, you know, a shooting a block away.
Like that.
No, I know it normally would never be like that, but just with the political climate, this was everything. I'm glad.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it was, you know,
It was
very good, very positive.
Well, this is sort of cheerful. Right now, there's like a really polite stand-up going on the 6th Street Bridge in downtown LA. There's like, I don't know, 50, 60 people who are line dancing, and they're blocking ice by line dancing in the street, and they can't get through them. And so they're just sort of watching them line dancing, and they can't really do anything to them or against them or with them because they're not doing anything except line dancing. But they're taking up all the space. Really interesting, really cool. I'll post the link in the chat.
Wow, what? I've never heard of what? Line dancing to block ice. Interesting. Please tip. Have the choir out there. Wow, that'd be cool. Oh my God. That's wild. And there was a video, Facebook or one of those sites. It was some folks surrounding ICE. They went to someone's house and all these people come running out.
Oh, what's wrong?
And they surrounded ICE. They were heavily outnumbered, but I just think with the climate we live in, I don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody. I don't want and should not believe that people who are wearing masks and stuff should be able to come up on your private property because somebody said privately, I won't be sure, right? The lady said they come on my property and I don't know who they are. They're going to be blown to pieces out here. You know, this is Texas. You don't have to, you know, find out who somebody is behind a mask. At least that's what she was saying. But yeah, it's horrifying because you don't know who these people are jumping out of cars and vans covered up. No. It's crazy.
I'll leave it in the chat because it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. We don't live in Russia. That's how the police, I don't know, man. We don't live in countries like that where the police can run around as this secret force and stuff. That's scary.
Yeah, we do know. We do know, actually.
Well, now, but I'm just saying, in general, this country shouldn't run like that. It's really scary. You wouldn't want a secret police force. Nobody would. Unknown people getting you or interrogating you or pulling you over and you have no idea who they are. Like, does that sound like a place? I don't know, man.
Listen, this guy who I believe he was 60 years old, Cuban guy in Florida, died in ICE detention today or yesterday. He'd been there for 3 weeks. He lived in Florida for like 50 years. I mean, he was a Cuban man, and he died in ICE detention in this horrible place in Florida. I mean, it's just terrible. It's like the 5th person in Florida who's died in ICE detention.
When did he die? When did he die? When did he die?
It was either today or yesterday. I can pull up the link if you want.
Yeah, so they're supposed to post an announcement like within 48 hours. So I'm sure it's something I do.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
Okay. There was a Haitian woman, 44 or 40 something, last month or maybe about a month or so in Florida detention also who passed away mysteriously.
Florida?
She got deported. She got ICE got her in Virgin Islands of all places, and then sent her to Louisiana, and then from there she was in Florida, was complaining about chest pains. They told her they gave her some fucking I think an aspirin or whatever, and then they found her dead.
Okay, it was on Thursday. He was 75 years old. I'm putting it in my chat.
Yeah, so they should have a report on their website.
You got this is from PBS News. Okay.
Thanks.
Don't you get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna check his name and see what's.
Well, there was a lot of eyes on that today because of this alligator, you know, big thing, concentration camp is building down there. Sorry?
What are they doing in Florida?
What is it?
Yeah, like, what are they doing?
It's horrible. They like are building this thing, and Trump went down there today to like oversee it, and it's like these big, like cage-like containers, like the kind of thing you would put, you know, monks and things, they're not human beings, that is like really close to the water, and he's calling it alligator albatross, and he's building it as an ice detention center to hold detainees, with the joke being that you can't get away from it because the alligators would eat you. It's like right there in the middle of the swamp, and it can hold up to 5,000 people. It's so terrible, you guys.
I say it's taxpayer dollars. I think it costs them it's going to be costing them $460 million a year to run, and it's in the middle of the Everglades, which we know is one of the most oppressive places to exist in this country. So it's absolutely disgusting, and another just disgusting thing by this administration and everybody that supports them.
It's the number one ecosystem issue that they're raising now, because it's such a sensitive ecosystem over there. And they're putting the first prisoner in tomorrow, so I'm hoping we shut it down as soon as possible. Trump did a tour and he put his stamp on it by saying, you know, Biden tried putting me in here. You know, like that was his whole sales pitch for it. So I don't see this thing lasting. I'm hoping that God we get shut it down, because it's not expensive. It just looks like a bunch of freaking gates. You know, like it's not like a huge expensive infrastructure. It's just like a camp. It's a concentration camp, literally. The fact that it's in the Everglades is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard we've ever done to our ecosystem.
I wonder who's gonna get the contract for it.
Right. It's like an animal show.
Yeah, the only reason I want them to, keep that facility open is to put the administration in there and ICE agents in there after this show's over.
I'm not paying any taxes to feed them. No. We can bring back the death penalty, Scotty. Lethal injection. Chair, whatever. Leave the Everglades alone. Florida's been through enough. Jesus.
We'll change the topic. Oh my God.
So was there a riot at the,
Sorry, go ahead, Scotty.
was there a riot at the town hall?
I was waiting for you. I haven't talked to you in a few days. I missed you, was.
No.
Commiserate with. There wasn't a riot. There was an attempt. I mean, there were about 35 minutes in. There were probably a good 50, 60, comments, and it was all the same comment: get rid of the announce, get rid of the announce, get rid of the announce. And when it was asked on stage, they, ignored it. And then all of a sudden they shut down the chat, said that they had a technical problem. So that was it. The only other thing they talked about were the little emojis, how you can use them differently now. And they made some reference to that they're trying to figure out how to come up with a new magical room that will be like going to like the best party ever. We want to figure out how to do that on the app. So that when you come into a room and like we went to this fabulous party, walked in and there was somebody you knew across the room and the host came right up to you and gave you a hug and they had your favorite food or whatever they're imagining. I don't know how they think they're going to do this. And they don't know how they're going to do it, but they might have.
What are they smoking?
I don't know what they're smoking. They were not. That new guy was in there too, Adam, the one who we met like 2 weeks ago when they introduced Plus. Was there again on stage. Plus, Mr. Plus, Adam.
Ask Water what you smoked.
And Jennifer Robbins was the on-stage personality today.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, she's having a music room right now, but she came in to invite me to. I promised I would go. They're having an after party that just started a little bit ago.
Yeah, I went over there, but none of the guys was over there, so.
They weren't over there yet? Okay, because she just texted me and asked me when I was coming. I'll go check it out and go see what's going on. Probably be right back.
Always be right there. It's 10:28 here on the East Coast. And
Okay, I looked at my clock. Okay, it's 9 o'clock here. Okay.
Thanks for the time check.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could be of help.
Blessings first.
Blessings on blessings on blessings.
Blessings to everybody. It sure feel good. It's 88 degrees. Wind blowing from the north, straight up. Feeling good right now. Better than 102.
Hey, brother. Hey, Massa. How you feeling?
Hey, y'all, I'm all right. Y'all famous. Y'all on, I see y'all on YouTube and everything.
Oh, go there. Go there. Go there. Everybody. Go there.
What's up, y'all? Y'all are so famous.
Why you always funny all your life?
I mean, it be me and one other person on there that's watching y'all. Y'all be tearing it up.
You mean?
Yeah, one other person is crazy.
Oh,
talk to her, y'all. Go and talk to her.
The recorder is my brother. Go ahead, brother.
Y'all be famous. I'm like, I know them.
Did we bring forward?
I do. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you see that one right there, top left, always problematic. Yeah, nah.
How's the baby?
Doing well. Doing well. Yeah.
I'm ready for college now.
Well, God, yeah, I wish.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I used to say when my baby was little, like, I can't wait till she walks and she start walking. Can't wait till she can talk and
I mean, this is his 6'1" now.
It's my seven. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, lucky seven.
Remember these are out with no legs.
Got a basketball team.
Number 7. No legs, no arms.
Right.
That's right. One eye.
He's talking about now you can see the YouTube with one eye.
And use that good.
With my one good ear. That's right.
You're a nut, you know that?
Yeah, what's coming here and teach y'all.
You know it's really kids. You really got 7 kids, brother?
Close to
Yes. As it pertains to the reporting on YouTube, yes, I have 7 children. 4 wives.